hello everyone, and Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! Woo!
Happy New Year!
Well, we should have coordinated that a little better. It's all in unison because everyone was muted.
That wouldn't be our style, Dan. That would not be our style. So.
Well, we're here on the front lines of the new year, knocking on the door of an abundant new year, and I'm happy that we've made it. This is our 301st episode of this broadcast since we started with GCR, The Big Lie, and then moved on to DANK Live, and now it's Front Lines and so many other Speak Project, front lines. different positions, everything. So many things to do, and so we have all the time in the world apparently because we're getting it all done.
Somehow.
And so we have just a few of our people here on to celebrate. Now for me, my New Year's is over. Me and my wife got wild last night. She brought home a fine bottle of Welch's grape juice, and we had some of that because she got some real wine. I don't know, about 3 weeks ago or something like that. And she was being all grown up at that she never liked drinking, but she thought, bringing home some wine, and she drank like this size, right? And I said, I don't think you want to drink that. It's too much for you. And no, she just drank it, and then she was hard to stand up, and she got drunk and went to bed, and then she had a big headache, and I tried to make sure to give her a lot of water, have her drink it, so minimize that. But anyway, so she was not going to bring home any wine or champagne. But we did have a fantastic view, though, because from where we are, we're up on a mountain, and in front of us is a very big lake, 1.5 million hectares lake. So it's huge. It's about an hour straight drive to Manila. I can see Manila out on the distance, way out there, because it's flat. Because I'm up on the mountain, everything's flat. But for New Year's, everybody sets off fireworks, and I'm not talking about bottle rockets. I'm talking about these huge, giant fireworks. You couldn't buy these in America unless you're unless you're going to be doing it, with the fire department, right? But it's literally across the entire, all the way to Manila. So it's thousands and thousands of people setting off fireworks. So it's like a bubbling cauldron of fireworks, and it even goes all the way around the whole lake. So you can see way off in the distance, these little explosions of light that are happening all the way around. It's just an amazing sight. And then of course the ones that are right in front of us are literally not more than, I can almost put my hand out and reach for them. They're that close, because we have some resorts that are here. It's kind of like these water parks, right? And so there's one, then they set off fireworks, and the other one sets off fireworks. So we have fireworks everywhere, from far out to all the way forward. So it went off for about 45 minutes or so. So that was my evening last night. So I know you guys are all getting ready for your fireworks. You're a couple hours away in New York, or on the from the East Coast to the West Coast. So what are your plans for this evening?
You're it, Dan.
Yeah. First I'm going to do the show, and then I'm going to have a fake New Year's with my 6-year-old, right, at about 10 o'clock. And then at 10:30, I'll have a whole fake fabricated thing. We'll throw confetti in the house. And then after that, I'm going to done to clean up. And then I'm going to sit around drinking some Anastasia vodka in honor of Kim.
There
we
you go.
Call you back, Dan, and do another show. We have so much to do.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I'm trying to find more of a festive, fireworky background. Okay, I switched my background. There we go. That's a little bit more.
Can I tell you about my exciting night?
Please.
Yes, let's hear it.
Please.
It's pretty much been the same as my exciting last 3 weeks, which is basically I have a date with my affidavit and my Kindle program.
Yeah.
That is some sexy talk there, ladies.
Are you
Did you
jealous?
say affidavit? Yeah.
Is that two guys?
Yes, Mr. Affidavit and Mr. Kindle.
Affy and David. You know, I don't.
Oh man, that's hilarious. That's it. Yeah.
Well, excellent. Well, we all are celebrating in our own ways. So, hey, Tank, we have any news from Kim? Yeah.
Well, yeah, a little bit that I could share. Kind of exciting. I asked her, every year on New Year's Eve, we have the Kamal tries to launch the newest version of the Babylon system. So, this started, I think maybe back in the 80s, right, when they made everything digital. So thanks. So the first, the first Babylon system, and this is all Marduk stuff, right? They would, every year they would launch the Babylon system, and they would basically reap the harvest of all of the crime and evil things they did throughout the year, right? So, and that was a big payout. It was like 3 hours on New Year's Eve where everything shuts down, something like that. And so, for the past 2 years that I've been working with Kim, and I believe before that, we've talked about it the day that it was happening. She's like, this is what they do every year. They try to launch this, and she goes, and it will inevitably fail. And so basically I asked her this morning, I'm like, so, what's the status? Did they try to launch their typical, Babylon number 15 or whatever? And she said, yes, they started in Australia, then they went to the United Kingdom, then they moved on to, it was Australia, then China, then the United Kingdom, and they were on New York. She goes, they repeat the same pattern, launch, crash, fail, start over, launch, crash, fail, start over. And she's like, blah, blah, blah. Basically is what she said. And
do they actually still call it
the
Babylon system?
I mean, obviously she told me. So, and I asked her if she was going to disrupt the system, and she gave me every indication that we're there, and that this process, this pattern that they've put us through is over. So,
hallelujah.
That's hallelujah is right.
Happy New Year. So, do they call it the Babylon system still, or is that just like a generic name that you're calling it?
Well, there's different systems, but Babylon is probably the most well-known and famous system. You actually even hear, there's actually like pop songs from the 80s that would actually reference the Babylon system. Or the Babylon, the new Babylon system that we talk about, right? And because a lot of this particular cycle revolves around, the high-speed monorail that every country in the world signed off on in 1978. And now a lot of people don't even hardly remember that, right? But I guess, and it makes a lot of sense to me, is that when it happened, though, this was a monumental treaty, right? Because every single country in the world was going to be connected by this high-speed monorail. And at that time, the technology, they must have been leaking things about it out, because I've spoken to people who knew, like, it was really high-tech, it was all these things, because you'd be able to travel around the world so easily. But I don't know if they really explained to people that this was an anti-gravitational train, right? That would literally be able to go right out over top of the water. But it wouldn't even needed anything, a track or anything, right? But right after that is when they started dumbing down the population, right? Right after that. So a lot of people don't even remember that or realize that that's something that was must have been spoken about on some level. But that kicked off a lot of things. And because the trust itself never violated the treaty is still in force. So that is what opened the door for Kim to fund every nation in the world. That one treaty opened the door for everyone. And every nation in the world contributed their resources and their assets, their in-ground resources.
I just want to let you know that Tui has joined us.
Aha!
It wasn't me. I was muted.
Oh, okay. Tui's here at the party.
Yeah. So Tui has some extra noise coming in, so but that's okay. Welcome, Tui. I sent him the link while we were chatting here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So basically, every country in the world, they pledge their in-ground resources as well as their above-ground resources, and they receive their allocation currency, right? So that's really where all the assets of the world. When we talk about this, the assets were actually pledged to the trust. And somebody challenged me on this the other day, and they were like, "Kim might be over the biggest trust, but there's other trusts waiting to release their money." Well, yeah, they are waiting indefinitely because all of the other trusts are part of the same system, right? There's only one real quantum system that touches everything and maps and has mapped everything on the planet, and it's been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So it's not, it's not like you can just create some new Microsoft database, call it a quantum system, and overpower the real quantum mapping system, right?
Right.
So so it's been an absolutely.
It's got a few years on it, a little bit more advanced.
Yeah, it's like 1,000 years in the future of where we are. So.
Well, that's amazing. I want to. I tell you, in the Philippines here, though, I've heard people talk about projects, right? And one of Marcos's projects was this monorail system, or this high-speed train. That's what they're calling it for the bullet. They're calling bullet train for the Philippines, and then it would go to all the islands. Right, and it didn't really strike me until now, when you're talking about this going over the water, that, that would be, I was envisioning he was planning on, making bridges between the islands, right? But no, it's literally, but this is a well-known thing here in the Philippines, right? That Marcos has, had this project. But it makes sense that it would also be, here in the Philippines, and Marcos being a previous Pindar, be aware of this thing, and so, the whole planet giving up its in-ground assets or pledging it to the trusts, it kind of makes sense. And so I have some extra noise here from our neighbors who are, still in celebration mode with the kids here. So I don't know if you're picking up on that, but what I'll do is I'll mute myself so you guys don't hear that, and then Tui can chime in. Hey Tui, you ready?
Hello, Dale, Dan, and
Hello,
Tank.
Tui. Happy New Year.
Hey, Tank. Bulong natin, greetings from Fiji.
Hey, Buli Abanaga. I hope I said that right, but yeah. I'll work on it later.
Yes, go ahead, Tank.
I just laugh. I'm like, you learned English like overnight. I still haven't learned how to say hello. I'm working on it, man. Amazing.
Well, I just want to say Happy New Year to everyone that's here with us on the show right now. I want to say hi and greetings from Fiji, Bulugunaka, and I greet you in good health. And I wish that this new year will be, 2020, will be a prosperous and a very fruitful year for everyone, especially everyone on the planet. And changes that we're planning to implement. Last year, from here in Fiji, we already 2020. Now I'm speaking from the future. And I just want to say, thank you so much, Dan, Tank, and the rest of the team for a wonderful last year that we've been through together. We're able to get connected, and as soon as we get connected, it's a healing for the planet, and it's a healing for us, for the spiritual energy within us, realizing and recognizing each other as a sovereign being of the meaning of the planet. And I'm looking forward to this new year and everything that's it's going to bring, all the lessons that we will have to learn. Some lessons we'll never have learned before in the past. And from all of us in Fiji, much love and blessing, and we are looking forward, and we are all prepared to face this new year together, and we'll see what kind of lesson it's going to bring us. And with those greetings, I would like to just greet everyone Happy New Year and blessings from Fiji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tui, for enlightening everybody, who was able to hear your voice and talk about these things. And I agree, man. I think us coming together has definitely been, all of us coming together has been healing. I think it's symbolic of what's happening, around the world and energetically. And,
Indeed.
gotta tell you, it's pretty excited. I don't know how we would have done this. You can't really, as much as you want to plan things, as anybody wants to plan things, I realize so much of our power has been in the spontaneity of our free will, in that moment to decide to move forward, right? Because everything ultimately comes down to that powerful moment when you decide to take action or not, And I'm so glad, man. I got my some of my core team here on the phone, from Speak Walkers, the Speak Project, and Create Change. Everybody's part of our kind of expanded universe. So I'm with you, man. I if we did nothing else today, I did want to just thank everybody out there who has contributed in any way to help us get to the end of this, to the beginning of this journey, right? Because we're closing out one chapter, and we get to start a new one. And I just, man, I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited about that. And I'm honored and privileged to have a role to play in it.
Indeed.
Indeed is right.
Thanks to you for, coming in, because you were here in the very beginning. I think on our third shot that we did this, right? I think our third broadcast, something like that. You were here from pretty much the very beginning. It's amazing, the things that we've already accomplished, just taking one step, and then the next, and then the next, and then everything changes. Right? Just setting up Lawful America. I was just talking with Tank yesterday about set up Lawful America, and then take steps in that direction. All of a sudden, you're talking with someone who's on several news channels, right? And then that opens up the next door, and it opens up the next door. That's manifestation, happening in real time, right in front of us. So we just have to keep going, and we just got to pick up the pace. Come on, guys, let's go.
That's right.
Indeed. I'm very thankful for everything that you guys have done, especially the trust and the team. Thankful to Kim and the people there in the States and the team that he's with. Thankful to how it's amazing how things are working together, even though we are in different parts of the planet. Our actions affect each other, and things that Kim has done on that side of the planet because of what you've just been talking about, Tank, about the one system of the planet, especially the monetary system. And now we've And the last time, the last time I spoke with the team was when I called up for the funds for the fund transfer here in Fiji. And there's one main thing that he briefly spoke about is how the family or the elders, the Chinese elders are involved in the Pacific and through the Chinese government. And just for the past 2 months, what she has done by how she's affected the monetary system of the planet, it says, it is taken away the pressure from all these big governments that's trying to implement, a total, economic control, and then ultimately just basically controlling the whole region. With what you've done now, the Chinese government, over here they're planning, they're meeting with all the businessmen, Chinese businesses over here. They're telling them that they're having problems. Fiji is having problems. The economic problem is actually, really the control that they have mentally, spiritually to the people around here in the Pacific. And it gives us a chance to breathe again and to be free again and to be able to rethink and organize ourselves and create maybe totally different or a new system that we can actually work together and implement it around here in the Pacific or through Australia, New Zealand, because there are people all over these different countries that are ready and aware and ready to change. It's just a matter of time. I'm waiting for that. Sometimes we think that it's not a good idea to collapse the economy, but then if we wait a little, it might just give them a chance to wake up, and we will be there to just guide and help them. And that's what we've done, especially the chiefs in Fiji, with the work that we're doing. Like I spoke in our last meeting about how we've taken, taken a step to actually get our, the process of our notification of birth, which gives every soul on the planet to the banking system, where they can be monetized and they can be bonded and sold to the trust. And the wonderful thing now that we have Kim, and we're able to can directly work with her and maybe come up with a process where everyone, if they need, they can come to Fiji and work that process out outside of the roster system that has been implemented for this past hundreds of years. It's been implemented so nicely and so neatly that it's almost going to be hard to actually create a new system outside of it, especially the processing part of it. But we have all the partners all with us. We have Kim, we have us, we have everyone that has a role in this change. And as soon as we sit together and implement, we have the US then, we have all the different people with ideas that that actually can just put together and create a totally new thing that would enable everyone, not just people here in Fiji, but everyone around the planet to implement in their country or do the same thing. And work with the old system as well, because I know there will be a lot of people, there's a lot of people in the DANK, especially the people in the old system, through the United Nations, through the different structures, how you have the IMF and all these good people trying to do good things. But because of the hidden agenda behind, they don't even know, they're not aware of how the structure actually exists. And then, I heard Thomas Williams a few years ago requesting or asking a meeting, a global United Nations emergency meeting, where everyone can come together, every leaders, and we can sit down and come up with how we can solve. And because the problem we create ourselves, and only us should be able to get ourselves out of it and get a new system. And so I was telling local tribes in Australia. We can have a meeting in Fiji, and we can have Kim come here and maybe have a vacation and take a break for the past how many years. We've been working really hard on trying to set up something totally new and learning, relearning, unlearning, and then recreating, and then So I'm looking forward to this new year that's ahead of us. 2020, it's a significant year of a new beginning. 2020 is a symbolic year for us, especially here in Fiji, especially to the people that have been waiting for this time for generations. 2017, 2018, 2019, it's part of what we have in the prophecy, and what the calling that we had before we come to this life. And even though it's just an illusion of valuation of time, but it's always good to use the old system and just repurpose them in a way that is constructive to everyone, and we can just create a totally new time, new way of thinking, a new way of doing things, a new way of looking at things, and understanding each other, and look at everyone out of love that is within us. Yeah, so I'm very thankful that I have a chance today to be here on the show with you, with DANK, with them, and these are also here.
Yes,
Well,
this is it.
well, I'm very thankful. Thankful to all you guys and everything that you've been doing every day. Hopefully, within a few weeks, within a few days, within a few months, we'll be able to set up and do something together, and not just a group, the entire total different groups from different countries that we can work together and create awareness for everyone else to have the same awareness that we have. And I think that's one of the most important things right now. It's the people unknowingly doing what they do and they're doing, and our role as what can I say, as we call it in my language, Iseru, or the firstborn. That's what we are. We are the firstborn of this new creation. We are the one that's already creating the new state of awareness, a new reality. And that's our role, to get everyone that's still asleep to wake up and create the new reality with us. And that's the role as firstborn of this new reality. And I'm thankful to be here. Thank you and your team for all the lessons that you guys have learned and shared, and the role that you guys are playing in this new change, and then and everyone. And thank you, just want to say thank you to everyone that's joining every day, listening to the show, joining in the chat room, even though they are not there in here speaking, but they're here in spirit and in awareness and in understanding, and I'm very thankful for that. That's just a few words that I want to say for this new year. Thank you so much.
Well, Tui, thank you for educating us on a lot of things. Really appreciate it, by the way. And also, man, thank you for being brave enough to reach out. Because, I know for a fact, from many sources all over the world, how many people are listening. And I know how few of them have the courage to step out, put their face out there. So, all it takes for evil to win, right, is for good men to do nothing.
Yeah.
So thank you for being a good man and standing up and doing exactly what was needed. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Tui, very much.
Thank you, Tui.
And speaking of us, of people being brave enough to, step out, I have prepared a little message, an invite to everyone I can put in the Telegram group for WWG1 WGA Love Telegram group. It's for them to join this Zoom and say Happy New Year, and I can put it in our chat. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'll do that. Right, but we also Gunner showed up on here too. I don't know if he wants to say.
I'm here.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'm speaking out.
Yeah, you speak.
I'm not chicken.
I love this. Can we do this every night?
Gunner.
Now, for those of you who don't know, the only reason why the Speak Project exists is because about 3 years ago, we were pissed off the RV wasn't happening. So I gathered, a couple thousand people together, and we were going to protest and sue Wells Fargo. So we did everything, filed it all up, got it all ready, and in the process, that was a Speak Project. We didn't really have a platform or a place to go. And Gunner reached out to me first, and he had already bought the website. He had already started building it. He'd already bought the domain names. And then he said, and I want you to, come have a place for you to post your stuff, but they're not, ridiculing you, and they don't just let any idiot on there to post. So because of Gunner and the generosity and the kindness of the individual that he is, and because Gunner's the kind of person that is very much standing up against the machine, that's why we have a Speak Project. So thank you, Gunner.
Yeah, and you also remember, who was it? Who was the guy that was, there was somebody at the time that was threatening me. I can't even remember.
Oh, I know who
Right.
it was, but I don't remember who was it. One of those like
Is it
weirdo
Ken?
guys.
That idiot? Sorry. Rick.
Yeah.
The gay former senator or congressman guy.
They call himself.
No.
Like,
Yeah, it was him too.
Yeah, one who knows.
the one who knows.
No, not one who knows. It was Matthias, right? And
That's it. Was
Matthias.
Yeah. Yes. It
Did
was
he post
Matthias.
an emo tab or something weird?
yeah.
Well-
He said he claims to be emo or something like that.
Okay, that's awesome.
Anyway, he actually did kind of scare me a little bit, and so of course, since I had a website, I got his attention by using some 4-letter words about him.
I remember that. I remember when you told me they threatened you.
Yeah, he stopped messing with me after that.
Oh, I bet he did.
Yeah.
So
That's
use
right.
words like love and hope.
Oh, yeah, those were the ones.
Well,
Yeah.
No, so what happened was on the Speak Project, we posted the Sun Tzu circle or the Sun Tzu plan, right? The whole
Yeah,
it's
the Global Marshall Plan.
right, the global Marshall Plan. We posted it.
Kim had just gave it to us to show everybody.
And as far as I know, no one had really put it out like that before. And it was like an original copy, like that we had photographs of. Put it out there, and they called Gunner like, you don't want to put this out there because they find out, blah blah. Because basically, it maps out the whole genocidal plan. We didn't really understand that at the time, but it also mapped out the hierarchy of the order. We put it out there. Gunner called me up, a little fidgety at that moment, right?
And he told me to take it down. He actually was kind of indirectly threatening me if I didn't take it down. That's right.
Oh, he did threat. I mean, it was one of those CIA threats, right? Like, man, you gotta be real careful. You got family, like one of those kind of threats.
Yeah, they were showing your family. Like, be careful, your family, it's dangerous out here. And I told Gunner, I think my advice to you was, fuck them, leave it alone, it's fine.
Yeah, so basically, I hardly said anything to Gunner, by the way, hardly anything. Next thing I know, Gunner's on Twitter, and it's like, F you all go to hell. They just threatened me and they can die. I was like, oh my gosh, Gunner, it's so funny. It's like, and I think it's better to overreact than not react at all. So I like it.
Well, I decided that I wasn't going to give in to his threats. If anything, I was just going to call his bluff, and that's what I did.
Exactly the way you came on the call tonight, Gunner, is exactly how I've known you all the time. I'm speaking out, damn it. You're gonna listen. I love it.
And let me tell you something, man. If you mess with my daughter, you'll be sorry. Believe me, I've had experience.
Duly noted. Duly noted. Yeah.
Hey, I'd like to say something, if I could.
Sure.
I'm going to embarrass you, Tank, just a forewarning. Okay. So I just want to say thank you, because your knowingness and your sure-footedness has given us not just a platform, but it has basically given us solid ground from which to work. So a lot of us came at this independently. I mean, we all have our own stories about how long we worked for this movement, how alone we were, how we each had our private missions. I know I worked alone for years trying to change the world. And it's basically a thankless task. But when you said, oh, let's do your project at Speak Project, I said, well, what the hell? I mean, it was immediate because I knew who you were for so long. I knew your soul, I knew your story, I knew your vibration. And when you said it, it was absolutely 100% right. And since that time, so what happens when you all come together like this in this incredibly powerful, directed way, you increase exponentially. I'm 1,000 times more powerful with the group than I am alone. And I think that stands for every one of us. But without your passion and knowledge and ability to cut through the crap, and I think that's a big one, because there's a lot of people in this movement who cannot see through they can't see through the miasma. You're like, nope, you're on it. It's not, that's garbage. Get away from that. This is where we're going. You have just given us not just a forum, but a family. And I really, really am so grateful from the bottom of my heart. And I want to thank all of the Speak family and the Create Change family, because we work together night and day, 24 hours a day. There's a bunch of insomniacs around. We know who you are, Jules. And everyone is working constantly. And there's no let up. And you know what? I don't think we mind in the least, because we're together, we're working, we know that we have an end in sight. And then there's Kim. I mean, having Kim in the background doing the incredible work that she's doing gives us just a layer of security. And even if that money never, ever came in or comes in, it doesn't matter, because we are here to change the paradigm, pure and simple. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing else will do. We have to have a complete and total overhaul and reversion to who we truly are. And so that leads me to Tui, and I cannot thank you enough, Tui, for your speaking up for the indigenous people, for being representative of the many tribes and the many cultures that we've run roughshod over the centuries. And your voice is so very, very important, and I thank you for that. And Dan giving us a forum and giving Tank a safe place to land every night for all these many months, and for your discussions and your delving into the issues and researching when you need to in order to, in order to give our boys something to work against, because it's good to have an opponent in the ring. You've been amazing.
I second that. I want to personally thank Dan for all he's done too, and also Tui. I hear Tui a lot, and I've never got a chance to talk to him, but both of those guys have done a lot for the Speak Project. I appreciate it too.
Yeah. So here's to the new paradigm. Moving forward to 2020,
Cheers.
new generation, new everything.
Yes. Yes.
When I get work.
Yes, everybody drink that.
Lisa, pass that champagne around.
I am. I drank the whole bottle already, you guys. I'm about ready. I'm kidding.
I'm opening up another one.
I want to say thank you too. For me, and I think a lot of people feel this way on this journey, is I have felt like an alien most of my life. So different than my real family, and so different than my environment, and just felt like no matter what, I had to find the answer. And I feel like this is the answer. Our team here, our family here, is we're no longer alone. And I think we've searched each other out our whole life to be here. And I'm grateful for Tank and for Kim and for Dan and our team that works night and day relentlessly. I mean, Sid and Lane and Jules and Michelle, everybody on this call is, is just so hardworking. And I'm just proud to be a part of any part of it at all. And so I'm grateful for all of you. Thank you.
I just want to say a couple things too, guys.
Can I say something?
Oh, okay, I'll let you go first.
No, you go. Go, Sid. Go.
Well, just really quickly, because I totally, agree with all of what you said, Lane, Gunner, Lisa. I started with Tank from the beginning. We went through a lot of crazy people and a lot of crazy characters, and I'm so happy that we have a core team and everybody that listens to Dan's show, Dan, Chewy, everybody here, Tank. I mean, Tank's like my guy, and we've been together for a long time, and we made it. Like, I feel like we've actually made it, and we have a group of people here that's literally ready to take on all the challenges that we have ahead, because our job does not end. I'm sorry to be a taskmaster even on a celebratory call, but I'm really proud of all you guys, and thank you. Sorry, my dog's coming. But yeah.
Oh, he can talk too.
Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you for everything.
Happy New Year, Sid.
Happy New Year to you. Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Sid.
May I say something?
You may.
I only mind Lane when I get woke up in the middle of the night.
You're not allowed to mind that, Janet.
I know. I'm usually up till 3 o'clock, but then when I go to bed at 4, I kind of want to sleep for just a little bit.
Oh, we forgot to tell you this is 24/7.
Yeah,
I know, so I forget to tell you.
Saving the world's a full-time job.
Well, we're here making nice steps, so we just keep going. It's all right. We're here more than 24/7 because there's more than one of us.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
lately I've been staying up all night. I never thought I could do it, but it hasn't been hard for me lately.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I had one of those
Okay.
late
Take
nights.
it from someone who knows you will crash.
Well, that's happened too.
Well,
And
Actually,
Seriously, I do love you guys. I love every one of you, and Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year to you too. Thank you.
Thanks, Janet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I've
Happy
known
New Year.
Tank. I've known Tank to stay up quite late a lot of times too. So, he has bragging rights as well.
My dad taught me when I was a kid. He was always like an award-winning manager wherever he went, and he always outworked his employees. So I try to make sure I never ask people to do anything I'm not doing or won't do. Yeah, I get it.
Well, it's my father also was a manager that would outwork his people he was overseeing. So, it's a good work ethic. It's lacking a lot in the world, right? People are just wanting things handed to them, and I think that's part of what we're changing is also the attitudes of the world. You got to take the steps forward. You got to take action, and you got to be responsible for the world around us, and that's how we change it, and that's what we did.
Yes, sir.
We're here. We've done it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We have done it. And when you grow up on a farm, cows have to be milked twice a day. Chores have to get done, whether it's you're doing them till midnight or not. You got to keep going, and that's what I want to. That's what I want to bring back. I mean, maybe not all the hard work, but you know what I mean. People don't know how to farm anymore. They don't, and that's sad to me.
Yeah.
I agree. We should bring back some cows.
Yeah, I want to milk cows twice a day.
I think Michelle's been. Go for it,
Yeah, I
Michelle.
did. I like, you know, I've been with y'all for 8 months, and now 7 days, 8 months and 7 days. And you know, Dan and Tank, you know, I think it was the DANK show at that time when I came on, and I'll never forget getting that message asking for me to call in, and I would have never known that this would be the journey that I would be on. And I'm so thankful for the amazing friendships. Y'all have became my best friends, the core team. I love every one of you, and I couldn't get through my days without you. I hope all of you know how important you are. And Dan, I thank you for the platform that you have allowed me to have on your show, as well as Speak Watch for Speak Walkers, and to be able to expose my work, and to be able to help people across the world to end child trafficking, among other things. And so I'm very thankful, and I have the utmost respect for every one of you. And I have learned so much from all of you, and I appreciate everything that you have taught me. And I appreciate all of you for helping me heal and through this process and keep me safe. And I hope that y'all know I love you, and thank you so much for everything y'all have done. And I also want to thank the audience that we have out there that supports us and share our information, and the ones that send me private messages and support me. And thank you for everything you do. And thank you for coming to the table. Next year, I hope that we continue to grow and share the light in the darkness, and know that we've won. And so now we just go forward and we continue to hold the people accountable, and make it a great next year. So thank you all. Thank you, Tank. Thank you for putting up with me, and being the mentor that you have been. I truly appreciate you creating Speak Walkers for me. And Lane, thank you for from the very beginning. Lane was the one that started with me, and she's been an amazing person. Sid, all of you, Jules, Vera, all of y'all are just amazing. Lisa, I love all of you. Thank you. So happy New Year, guys.
Michelle, I remember that day you showed up on the show in April, and you talked about MERS, and you went to a deeper level than I think I can speak for everyone here, saying you went to a level far beyond what I had known personally. And you just were so impressive in your amazing deep dive researching and ability to put pieces together. So I've been a fan from that moment. Thank you.
Me too. Happy New Year. We love you.
You know, it was Lane. There's an audio that she has recorded when I was in trouble, and you know, I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for you guys. I hope y'all know that. I know that, and you know, I know the family knows. But I know that they would have already taken me out if it wasn't for you guys. So I'm alive because of y'all, and you are absolutely family to me. And I mean this. Y'all are the peak of my day. Y'all are there with me when I had the low of my days. But hearing y'all's voices and just knowing that y'all love me, and to see all the amazing things that we're doing, and just seeing how we are being able to change the world. I'm so grateful to be a part of y'all, and like I said, I'll never be able to pay back how much y'all have done for me and how much I love you, but just know that y'all all are very, very dear to my heart. Every one of you is very, very important to me, so thank you very much.
This is Gunnar.
Thank you,
I just wanted to say thanks to Michelle as well. I've been blown away by some of the stuff you've said with Tank and Dan. You know, I had heard about you before you even came on with Tank, and before Lane found you. But I've just I mean, you know, you're like having a celebrity on the show. I've been really impressed with everything you brought to the table. Anyways,
I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate everything you've done too.
Well, now that you've told them you knew about me before, they're probably going to call you and say, "Why did you not warn us?" Thank you, guys. Thank you, dear.
Vera, I just want to say Vera, our rock star, has joined the show as well. And Jules is on too, if Jules wants to say anything, but Vera joined us.
And they're quiet.
Jules and Vera, you guys have to speak up, because without these two working so tirelessly around the clock for every single thing that is needed, you have worn every hat that you can possibly imagine, and you've done it like rock stars, and you are so, my love and gratitude to you guys is endless, and I know everyone feels the same way. I just cannot believe how much you can do in a single day.
Absolutely. I mean, I know that I'm really, really hard on you guys every day, but you do it with like so much, you take it with so much stride. No, seriously, you do. And I love that about you guys. And thank you for putting up with my crazy demands. But without you guys, it would be
hard on everybody but me.
No, I put demands on you too, mentally.
Well, that's okay too.
Yeah.
Well,
It's been a great year, guys. Thank you for everything.
Yes, it's been a wonderful, amazing journey, you know, and 300 days in a row. You know, I couldn't have imagined that it would be this journey in the beginning, but it's only really about heading there, right? Heading out, you know, and making a new path forward. You know, that's my my motto for the last, you know, couple months is, you know, moving forward and making a new path forward. So we're doing it. We've done it, and everything is miraculous. Thank you all for joining and all your support. You know, I haven't spoken to a couple of you before, but I know I've heard your names, and you've been in the background. So I appreciate everything that everyone's done. You know, yeah, even Scott is on here.
You're already in the new year, aren't you?
I'm in the new year. Yeah, I had my New Year's last night. You know, fireworks and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Welch's grape juice. You know, pop the cork.
That'd be great. Yeah, thank you, Dan and Tang. Yeah, I've been following from the beginning, and I was following the GCR too, and then I awoke and then saw the first broadcast with Tang and Dan, and you know, now everybody's being supportive and having this space or channel or home to come to or get more information to awake more people. And yeah, this is the family. So everyone, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Scott.
Cambodia in the house. Scott looking all smooth, slick to death there, fresher than a
Right?
peppermint on
Oh,
his
that's how
picture, right?
How Cambodians do.
Man, I know. Cambodia represent. What?
Hey, how in the hell did we get everybody on right here at the end of the new year? This is kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah. You know, we just, I said, Lisa said, what are we going to talk about? I said, I don't know, we'll just wing it. Oh.
Which is how Dan and I started about 200 of these episodes. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes with no conversation beforehand, just, we're going live.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we are live. Yeah.
So,
sometimes it's that way. Yeah.
So really funny. I am famous in my family and friend circles for giving really great wedding speeches and best man speeches, right? Until my own wedding, where I gave the world's worst wedding speech in history, trying to thank literally almost everyone in the room, right? And, so I always think about that in moments like this, you know, when we're really able to reflect on all the work we've done. So I wanna pass something on that I've never talked to Kim about this exactly, but I know I just know in my heart this is how she feels, and I want to pass it on to all of you, and I think everybody here on the call directly and anybody listening now or in the future knows that I hold myself to this standard every day. Is the best way to thank someone, in my opinion, or if anybody is grateful or wants to thank someone else here. And the way that I demonstrate how much I appreciate all of you. I don't believe in waiting for a funeral to say nice words about people or waiting for a special event. I believe that every single day is an opportunity to take the things that I have learned from all of you and apply them in my life to go and change the world and to make the world a better place. And to take the principles and the core and the beauty of all the incredible personalities and work ethics, the skills, the just incredible intangible assets, the perfect imperfections of all of the people who are part of this organization, who do the very exact same thing every single day, working tirelessly, not only without pay, but paying to work, putting in their time, their money, every single day. And to do this for now Sid and I, who, if anybody ever followed me during the RV, you remember there was a time where, I'd have a conference call 30 minutes later, and we'd have 2,000 people on the call. And I had chat rooms all over the place, where I had hundreds, thousands of members who would have done, at that time, they would have done anything I asked. They were all very loyal, or seemingly so. And in that time, I was telling them things that were not true, but I didn't know it. So when I told them lies, essentially, they would have done anything for me. But when Kim came along, she was the first person to give us evidence, to really give us proof, to tell us the whole story. So when I started telling people the truth, everybody fell away, except for Sid. So there's a very famous TED Talk, and it talks about how to start a movement. And it shows it's just some guy outside by himself at a concert dancing like a fool. And then there's one other guy. He says, all it takes is one person to do something different. It takes one person to do something different to have a better way. And that person gets one other person to stand with them. And that person is one who ultimately expands the whole operation. And now, because of that one other person who stood with the crazy person by themselves, that one other person made it possible to expand and touch the hearts and minds of millions. So,
wow.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Beautiful.
That was amazing. Thank you all. No, I mean, he's not talking about me. He's talking about all of you.
Talking about you,
Yeah, but your
knucklehead.
dedication, sir. Your dedication is amazing.
He started off by saying Sid.
Hey, Sid.
Oh, sorry. I've never cried before.
Sid, honestly, Sid, you are the bearer of the flag. You are the one that is out. Okay, now I'm gonna make myself cry. You are out there morning, noon, and night, despite the kids biting at your ankles. You are freaking tireless. I've never seen anyone work as hard in my life, and I don't say that lightly. And Tank, you're in that group too, by the way. I mean, the two of you. But Sid, if you weren't out there plugging away, I don't know that the rest of us would be working as hard as we do. We do because you're doing it, and we're like, oh shit, we have to keep up with her.
You set the bar far too high.
Sorry, guys.
I agree.
take a break so doesn't find you, right, Sid?
You will
I
find
come see
you.
Dan show
Take
I
breaks.
do. I'll come Dan show to watch Dan and Tank, and Sid's like right there. Not Michelle. Where are you? And where's my intel? Like, there's no break for Sid.
And she does it psychically. Even if she doesn't do it to you in person, she's sending you brainwaves.
Oh,
Yeah, you know-
let me tell you, I feel Sid at times tell me, clean your room. Like, I can feel her telling me, clean your room. It's like, I think she's tired of me, like, get the papers together. It's like I hear her in my voice. But I agree with Tank. Sid is, there were times that I got scared, just, new to all of you. And Sid would send me private messages, and she knows what she said. And goodness, I'll be forever grateful for her. But she is amazing. Her videos that she puts together for all of us, and she is an amazing leader. And said, I just hope you know how much we love you and how much you inspire me to even work harder.
No, thank you guys. I'm
You're not my favorite.
I don't want to cry. I want to cry.
I got to tell you my favorite line of Sid's. My favorite line of Sid, I just have to throw this out there real quick. She'll say, don't worry about it. It's like akin to her saying, do it, fucker, or you're dead.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll take on one more task.
No problem.
That's fine.
You're right. I do that.
No. I'm sorry I asked you to do anything. I got it.
What she's really saying is we don't get tired here. We do it anyway.
Yeah, you are going to take the next job.
Hey, I wanted to say that Sid makes me cry too, and it isn't because she makes me happy.
Well, I can say that if you are out there and you're looking to add to your resume, this is the perfect organization to come work for. Because by the time you're done, you're going to have 100 new titles on your resume. So anybody out there that's listening, want to improve your resume, hey, come work for us. It's amazing.
It is true.
By the way, you have to pay to work for us.
Oh yeah, you have to pay. That's how it works. Now, but in all seriousness though, Sid from the very beginning, she got every these various ideologies that I've never compromised on, no matter what's happened. I've never changed them, and she and I have always been in alignment and in agreement on those things. And even at times, if I wanted to compromise, she wouldn't let me. And so, Sid, thank you for being that one, because you made all the difference in the world.
No, thank you for being in the front while I do the back end work and making sure you don't sell hats or anything stupid like that.
There's no hat. I just wanted the hats. It was so cool.
I want a hat.
Yeah, I still like the Trump episode.
Oh no, Dan, don't even bring that up. What are you doing? Crazy?
The lost episode.
You remember what happened that day when you guys did the Trump episode? I had to come on the show and I didn't say anything. It was so funny.
That was funny.
But that was
Yeah, we might have to cut you from your own show for saying that.
You were behind the scenes saying, "Oh my God, what do we do? What do we do? This is going off the rails." Sorry, Dan, but it was. And so we decided that we were all going to change our profile picture to Sid's and all go on at the same time.
That happened.
Oh, that.
We knew right away.
Sometimes we go off the rails.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the Galactic Council or changing the whole world financial system. Just little things like that.
Yeah, a little something.
Little something here or there.
That's why Tank falls off his chair.
Yes.
I'm going to be taking some new pictures here pretty soon with a tie on.
Nude pictures? That's good.
Nude?
Good to know.
Nude with a tie?
Listen, guys, I have a fake New Year that I gotta go set up for my daughter, and I do have to say to my broadcasting partner Dan and Lisa, but Dan most particularly you, because I never would have thought to do all this, and I don't know how long it would have taken me to get here, but I don't know, for anybody out there now in the future who happens to hear this, it started like this. Dan reached out to me randomly. We did one show. Later on, he said, well, one time I did 60 shows straight. I thought, damn, really? I couldn't believe it. It never even occurred to me to do something like that, right? And next thing I know, Dan and I, we had from March 1st, we had 15 days that the government had told Kim that if the Chinese elders don't perform on the RV by March 15th, then we'll go with you, right? Which is ridiculous because they didn't have an option. So Dan and I decided to do 15 shows straight. That was the big, big move. Lo and behold, the RV didn't happen. Here we are on episode 300, of which I blame Dan for because he said way back in episode 80, what happens over episode 300? Here we are.
That's it. I remember.
But I will say, Dan, look, man, thank you, because what you did in forcing that to happen is this whole team gathered to make a better quality of production to get the message out. And that has evolved into the Speak Walkers, where we've actually been able to actually take action to make a difference. We've exposed all types of things. Sid has, literally, in my opinion, she puts out the highest quality message in the entire world, and all the alternative media has to look to her as the standard of what excellence looks like. The Speak Walkers are setting the standard as far as this is what the truth sounds like. This is what the truth looks like speaking. We brought healing modalities and all types of prominent speakers from all over the world together. We brought project owners in to expand our network, and we have gotten access directly to central banks, to governments, to all types of things, including activating, a friendship that it was long overdue with the tribes themselves, with Tui and others. And Dan, that I can't overstate it. That is because you just said let's do 15 episodes straight, which I never even would have thought to do. So thank you. I love being around people. I love being around people to make me better. And all of you on this call, you do that every single day. So with that, guys, I gotta go. My daughter's here dressed like a little pink rabbit, and so I gotta go.
Okay, Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year, Tank.
Happy New Year's, everybody.
Good night.
Well, I'll just say that.
Happy New Year's.
Well,
Happy New Decade.
Well, I want to. Let's not all leave yet. I want to add one thing.
If you still doubt the Kim system or doubt that Kim doesn't exist, well, you have the Kim system in place. Yeah. So there you have it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Expect miracles, everybody tonight.
Well, it's.
Michelle.
Good night.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Thank you. I love you guys. Love you. Bye. Love you.
Well, Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year.
Hey, Dan.
Yes, Tui. Yeah, Tui.
Yeah, I can hear you properly.
Okay, I was going to add to this before Tank jump off and everyone's leaving. Everyone has their things to do. I understand. I want to just mention that this is, shows that it's the butterfly effect. A butterfly flapping its wings in the Amazon jungle causes a hurricane on the other side of the planet. I made a call to Tank. Right? That's all I did. And it was only because, for some reason that he doesn't even know why, his phone number appeared on a post, on a blog that he did on the Speak Project. And I took that number and I called him. I took a step, right? So, I took a step because I heard that Thomas did these shows the previous year that I was listening to through Lucid Dreamer. Now, that's, two more steps removed, or, but, one, they were taking their steps, they were making their path forward, right? And I stood up and took a step, right? And that's how simple it is for everyone to stand up, take a step, and move in that direction, and then we change the world. It is that simple. It's not about, I don't have the skills, I can't contribute, or that. Don't think that way. Think only that you are important, and your step, however small as a butterfly flapping its wings, right, is, it has a big effect. And we made a big effect. And I appreciate everyone for joining in, and especially you, Tui. I mean, it all perfectly fit, from the very beginning, how everything just unfolded. And I look forward to seeing you shortly in Fiji.
Yes, true.
Yes.
I look forward to seeing everyone here in Fiji, and it's almost the same thing. That's how I got into contact with you guys. Somehow the algorithm of the YouTube channel just came up, and because we were involved with Kingdom of Manna and all these development that was happening in the beginning, 2016, 17. I've been following you as well in your interviews with what's the guy from Indonesia?
The Swiss Indo.
Yes, the Swiss Indo.
Yeah, Bapak Suki, Mr. Sino AS.
We have basic awareness or basic knowledge about how we are related through in the olden days, for almost thousands of years ago, through the Solomon's influence in the Pacific, and coming into detail that you were able to actually do. And people here, they didn't say, when they come to that knowledge, they were so excited because they've always known our connection to these old agreements, and how we should be able to actually create a new one from learning the lessons of the old one, which is why the lessons was allowed to be learned in the first place. And it's amazing how things just turn up, and I'm very thankful to everyone that was on the show today, to Michelle, Glenn, of course, still be with us, and thank you to everyone, Ghana, and I've never met them, I've never met you guys, and I'm looking forward to one day physically we should be on a vacation, or not just a vacation, but a vacation will is part of the journey, is part of this work. We look at this as a vacation because the work that we do differently in different countries. We did out of that spiritual awareness that's within us, that we didn't learn this, or we didn't, or not taught anywhere. We've been brought up in a certain environment, and which enable us to learn all these things that enable us to do this work. And I'm very thankful that we're here in this moment, in this time. I'm thankful to all the native tribes in the Pacific, to the guys in aloha to everyone in Hawaii, to Jinza and Jin and the group, and the sovereignty movement that's there in Hawaii, the sovereignty group in New Zealand, and part of the the Maoris, and all the people that are involved in setting this new alignment and this new reality, which is all the sovereignty groups there in Australia, with Matangali Lewis and Jaga and Matangali Jaga and Uncle Doug and all the groups there, and Janet, Jenny, and Kaz, also there in Australia, and the group there in Australia, and this big lesson of healing that we're all doing together, which is, we're trying to heal the thousands of years of separation that we all have been involved in. and we've all been alluded to this separation, thinking that we are, from different countries or different places. No, but we are originally from this planet, and we are the native people of the planet. Even though the word native is a trick, it's a word trickery. Some people always say word magic. Yeah, but we are dominant. We are one in this planet. We are not separated. If we separate ourselves from the land, from the air, from the water, and from the sun, we will not be able to learn the physical life that we are in right now. So, anyone everywhere around the planet, I'm very thankful that we are in this, even though right now it's just the beginning, or it's just we call it in our language the firstborn south, or the sovereign, the people that are chosen to be the first one to wake up from the reality. They are chosen not by a human being or not by any other authority or any authority of this planet, no, but we were chosen, by the universe, by the creator, spiritual energy that's within us, and we're able to, that's why we're doing what we're doing right now, because there's no other person or no other character or no other people that can do it. And I'm very thankful to you, Dan, with the platform, and thankful to everyone, our tribe here in Fiji. They might be listening to this show in the future. I'm thankful to everyone. Just like Dan said, they will do anything with the spiritual spirit of love that we have. Or whatever I would ask, whatever I would that they would they would do, because it's not a work that it's not a job where you're chosen or you go to school for, but it's a work that that is part of our blood. It is part of our generation. Work that that's been in our blood for thousands of years, sleeping, and now it's just awakening. And to be able to be involved in it, whatever part of the planet you may be, from Asia, from the Philippines, from the States, from Europe, from Africa, from India, from the different tribes in the Pacific, in South America. We're all there's time for everything. And we're all in this new time together because we are the ones that have been pushed by the planet, by the solar system, by the universe to be here and change this timeline, because it's going to affect all the different timelines in the different part of the universe, whatever time they may be, the past from us or the future from us. So, it's a very, very, very very, very thankful to the time now, 2020. We already here celebrating. We already in the new year. I know here in the States they will be celebrating the New Year tonight. We already now in our first of January 2020, and we are looking forward. We are prepared, especially the chiefs and the elders are here in Fiji. Looking forward to the new work that we're doing. Very excited. As soon as this funding that we're waiting to align come through, I'm letting everyone know about it, and I'll be there's fund allocated for everyone, for you, Dan, for.
I tell you, I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
And something that came to me, and I realized that because I know an approximate time in which I shifted timelines to this timeline, because I can trace it back to in my life where I had a major Mandela effect happen. I wasn't even aware that it occurred until even maybe about a year and a half ago, but it happened about 4.5, 5 years ago. And I don't know if there's anything that happened else for you at that time frame, but I'll tell you what I was doing. I was in I was in the medical marijuana movement in California. I was fighting a battle to get it legalized, or keep it legal, in other words. And I was doing this, and then I went to Vegas, and I actually moved there because I knew that would be a place to really become a very help shape the laws and everything there. The law firm that I was using there for other things was a very high-powered law firm. In fact, one of its major partners was the lieutenant governor. Was previously a senator and introduced the bill. And then he ran for governor of the state. And I contributed to his campaign. And he won. Right? Now, in that this was going on, I ended up not getting the license for the medical marijuana dispensary in there because the biggest employer in the state sued me for trademark infringement, even though I got the trademark for the medical marijuana dispensary we were opening up. I got it for the state. I wasn't able to get a federal one. I would have probably come up as being a problem. But they sued, and as a result, even though we were highly favored, because of the amount of knowledge we brought in professionalism to the industry, we did not get the license. But in that, I was invited to the new governor's inauguration. I remember holding the invitation because I was a contributor to the campaign. And, I didn't go to the inauguration, but that was basically about the end of the line for, even though I was still doing medical marijuana with my company that was doing software development for this to manage dispensaries. I think everything started shifting away and was really going towards the historical bonds, the GCR, and everything after that. And I literally took a diversion at that point. And I ended up going to Swiss Indo. And this was like in the middle of 2015, I believe. But that's the time frame where that, if I look back in time right now, the one who became governor never became the governor in this timeline. Right? Right now, he's not the governor. He never was the governor. So I literally shifted. I shifted at that time, and then I'm on this trajectory, and then I'm meeting with Swiss Indo, and then you met up with me, or you followed my interviews with Swiss Indo, and so that is the diversion that I see as a different timeline. I jumped timelines. I wasn't aware that there was a Mandela effect that happened to me until years later, where I said, wait a minute, he's the governor. You know what? He was the governor. What happened? He's not the governor anymore. How did that happen? How did that happen? It's something I just put in the back of my mind, and I said maybe he got out of office or something like that. Maybe I something like. But no, I checked later when I really was looking into this. I said there's something that happened there, right? So literally, this new timeline is the timeline of where we're defeating the cabal. But I'm just wondering, did anything happen to you in about the middle of 2015, the beginning of 2015 to the end of 20, or maybe even, it might have even been in 2014. I'd have to go back and literally check and see when I was maybe it was, no, I think it was beginning of 2015. But I wonder if you noticed any timeline changes back then.
Yeah, I think even for me, because it's, this is just basically coming from the soul, from the spirit. I've always been aware of how the change is going to happen. Sometimes I cannot physically relate or talk about it in words. But then, when I was much younger, I've always been waiting for this to happen. So naturally, how it comes, because I understand how the spiritual awareness and the reality, how it's created by our, by the knowingness or what we learn or what we know, and being alive and thinking, and whatever changes. I think just because maybe just a little bit, because I'm here in Fiji, we all just following almost like a totally different timeline, a time what you call time cube or time bubble in our country. We call it Fiji time, but it's already been part of the prophecy, and prophecy is quite a very wide prophecy. That's almost 200 to 300 years ago. That were able to be written because those were the times people, the influence of education came into our country, and people were able to write in Fijian, even though they're using the English alphabet. And so they were like I was just being quiet, but I know there was a lot of changes at the beginning when Teddy Talk came through. Because of this original agreement that is part of my, it's part of the work that we're doing in Fiji, part of me, part of all the bloodline or the tribes that are here. 16,000 years ago, agreement 26,000 years ago, which is one cycle, 1 year in what you call the solar system or the universe. So, it's that awareness. I was growing up to it at first because I go through the. I was come from a Christian background, Christian family, studied the Bible, understood the Bible in certain ways, and as I grow, the timeline just changes and the understanding of the Bible just changes and grows with everything, with the awareness grows. So I noticed these changes and these timeline changes in 2012, 13, 14. It's actually, that's what accelerated everything. And for me, I think because that's, some things that I will discuss on the show about how I'm spiritually connected to the what you call this, to the beings that from the sea that I always talk to or able to communicate since I was young, and we were able to take myself spiritually and take a walk, make a journey, and try to understand how this reality will come in. And how we must not get involved or physically come in and help. And so that's why we need to. That's how we'll be able to get sovereignty back to everyone, by them waking up and realizing the power within, and that they cannot be created like how they've been eluded by the Christian, the Bible and what the church, the Catholic Church has done to control the awareness and the beliefs and the spiritual energy of other people, and enabling giving them a chance to go through the rabbit hole and then learn and then try and make them and let's see that how they can wake up to it. And I think it's just part of the awakening that process that you've gone through. Things that was never, you like we see things in the past, we see the same thing now. It's totally different. It has a different meaning. It has a different lesson or different understanding to how we see it then. And it's an amazing thing how this reality is changing that way. Which we are affecting the reality with our awareness, with the way we see things, and the reality is affecting us. And through this lesson, we are able to grow and be matured enough to become, to be the embodiment of what a sovereign being truly is. And I was just amazed on how you did all those interviews with the monarchs there in Indonesia, and how you were involved with trying to liberate everyone with death, and with the Swiss Indo, and that awareness of trying to get the death system away. and then the almost it's almost the same thing that Kim and the trust is trying to do now, but a totally different way of looking at things, understanding that the spiritual slavery is within. It's not a physical one. It's not. You cannot. You cannot take someone out and free them if they don't know that they are, spiritually and mentally a slave. And that's one of the things that I've been looking at and understanding how good intent, health intention to help the world, help everyone, but physical with even though the 4 elements were involved, the spiritual energy of his element was not time yet, and that's what we've been experiencing. Which it cannot be explained by words, but it can only go through by experience. And that's the language of our soul, by understanding and going through it.
Well, I try to find the words. I try to find the words to explain, right? Because it is it's just interesting to see if there is a way of correlating things. It's just something that I do, right? I'm an engineer, a scientist. I like to see the cause and effect. So I look into it, right? So it's just part of what I do. So
were you able to find out if he became governor?
No, he never did become governor. If I look right now, he's not governor. Never was governor.
But when you were there.
But I was there. No, I met the man, right? I physically spoke with him, met with him in his offices. Discussed politics, discussed things, discussed his previous, what he had done as a senator in the states, as a state senator. Discussed that with him. Discussed his artwork that he likes to hang in his office, which are all about astronauts, and really just so he became the governor, and then I left, right? But that never happened, So so
that means you come from a different time, and I come from a different time, and we're healing the timeline by meeting up.
Yeah, so it was a completely. Also just the leaving, having to leave the state. It was almost destined, for us to have that dispensary license. And it literally, everything just took a turn, right? It just, from that, a completely different trajectory took off from that moment, right? And that's why I trace it back, and I said that was a Mandela effect of now, right? I can look back and see that actually was something that happened, and I know it happened. My memory of it is clear, and so this is something that changed, right? And now, of course, I didn't know that things changed, And when I left, I'm on the other side of the planet for the next 5 years. So, this is something that is remarkable, for me to know that, because I experienced this. Now, has anyone else experienced that? I haven't tried to find out. Right? Does anyone else know? There's people that are when I go back, I'm going to go and talk with them, and I say, so, I remember you became governor. What happened? And he'll say, what do you mean? I never became governor. I thought of becoming governor, but so I don't know what's going to happen when that occurs, but I will at some point do that and confront those things just for my own curiosity. And other people that were involved with that knew, right, that were part of the conversation of him becoming governor, like the people that I was involved with. I can talk with them. Someone who I know now that is even neighbors. So that'll be interesting for me, but it's not high priority. But it's just looking at where things have come to. And that we've talked about now there being 2 timelines, and that we're on the one where we have defeated the cabal, have thrown off the shackles, where we've become free. and me pretty much going right to Swiss Indo. I mean, within a matter of about 3 months of from leaving from there, I'm at Swiss Indo. That's really what.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Amazing.
and then I did those interviews, and then I'm doing something else. Right. I'm in a completely different life. I have nothing to do with medical marijuana. In fact, all businesses related, my software company, management company, all business accounts were shut down. Now, I assume because I went to Swiss Indo and I did those interviews, I get, they just notify me that all the accounts are getting shut down. So, it's just it's an interesting trajectory, right? And then, of course, then you see the Swiss Indo interviews, right? And then you come on our broadcast with me and Tank. So, but these are all butterfly effects, right? These are all little events, little steps taken in a different direction. No, I never had to go to follow the global currency reset. I didn't have to get involved with that. I could have been doing just medical marijuana till today, right? But that everything along that line just stopped. Everything, really, and everything related to that is gone. It doesn't exist for me. It's in my past. But is there a different future, some other direction going that? But that's, where is consciousness, right? I'm on this time. Is there another me on the other timeline going that direction? It could be, but I don't see it that way, right? It's like we have the consciousness is going this way. I think that's why when you throw cloning into the mix, whereas consciousness then, that's why they have glitches in these clones, right? Because they're not quite at the right vibration. They don't sync up properly, and they don't think correctly. They don't act correctly. Something is out of sorts with them. So just interesting thoughts, nothing more. Yeah, so I don't plan on getting any clones yet. So anyway, I think I'd like to thank you, Tui, for staying on and talking a little bit about this. It wasn't really much. I really want to talk a little bit about the butterfly effect, right? Because I just saw that was everyone can make a difference.
It's like the deja vu. It's happened before, or
well, I'll tell you. I've had a theory. I thoroughly investigated deja vu from a time I was in my young 20s, right? Because I had a lot of deja vu, and I never ever thought it was because I had a dream. And now I remembered the dream, and that I saw this in my past. Never thought that. I said, that doesn't make any sense to me. And what I came to the conclusion of a deja vu is a magnetic weather pattern. That literally what's happening is that there's you're going through a gravity storm or something like that, in which there is a wash of magnetism and gravity that you're being pushed up against, and literally you're peering through this magnetic bubble, and you just get to see what's coming just ahead. Now, can you manipulate that gravity? Can you cause that effect to happen? I believe so. I believe that you can influence that pattern, of those that magnetic bubbles and stuff that you're basically just peering through, and you're just getting the moments ahead in time. You're literally seeing, right? Because your perception is that. I think that's more or less what it is. But
but this is actually totally different. These are missing part of your
yeah. No, it's completely different. Yeah, it has nothing to do with it. It's more of an effect of seeing, of a perception, but literally moving timelines is what I think happened to me. I literally or if it wasn't about moving for timelines, I think it's more about firming up a timeline. A possible trajectory is coming up, and then you firm it up, and you're on that timeline. I mean, it's been part of me to defeat the cabal, in a way. To replace the financial system is what I always called it. From my early 20s, I could say I had that conversation going with people. I said, this needs to be replaced. This banking system, this debt-based slavery system. I didn't call it quite that at that time, but the scarecrow system, the birth certificate entities, the debt system, the Federal Reserve, the tax system, all of those things, were part of my conversation of people that I was dealing with back then. But replacing that, so that's been part of what I've been focused on all this time. So this is the natural progression for me to be on a timeline in which that is ending and a new abundance-based system is coming into play. It is interesting. I think that the Mandela effect has something to do with the playing around with time that is occurring, right? Where they're trying to manipulate time, and where they use technologies, whether it's the looking glass technologies or Tesla's teleportation through time and space and going back in time, and they're trying to tweak things to make things go down a certain path, right? A horrible path, and as a result, there's someone else going back and tweaking time to make a positive. And so the glitch that occurs, the edit that occurs in time, is the Mandela effect. It's time healing itself.
Sometimes even even when they go and do that, they don't know that it's part of the plan already. So they're just involving themselves into the original or the desired timeline that needs to be followed. And it's amazing that experience, that missing path that you're talking about. And for me, I'm all about healing the past and
Tui, it's not a missing past; it's a missing alternative future. That's what's missing, right? It's because for me, the past is what it was. It'd be interesting for me to talk with the one that became the governor, right? For me to go back right now, or go there now, and say to him, and said, "I remember when you became governor. I remember when we had this conversation." And see what he remembers, and see does he remember anything differently, because he's not governor. What does he remember of our conversation? Did we have the conversation? Right? I don't know what will happen if I go and meet him now. What would happen? Right? I'm very curious. I don't think that there's a antimatter event, coming together and it cancels out reality. I don't think that's going to happen. But I think time is malleable; it can heal itself, and I think that having us talking about past, both of us now talking about past, is just a reflection of what we're bringing forward to that moment. So I think that it'll be just interesting. It'll give me perspective on things. That's all. I don't think there's any harm to come out of it. Anyway, yes. Well, I think that's good. I think we're good. Unless anyone else, I know iPhone popped up on here. I don't know who iPhone is. If you want to jump in and say anything before we get off, our end of the year broadcast number 301.
Beginning of the year.
Yeah, beginning of the year. Beginning of the year. Yeah. Beginning of the year for me. End of the year or actually, me and Tui are already in the new year. Scott is still in the last year, and I don't know iPhone that's sitting on here, but that's all right. I guess iPhone's not going to say.
In Ireland, you have the deadline. So, so you have a deadline right there. And if you take one step this side, you will be in the future. And if you take one step this side, you will be in yesterday.
Well, yeah, we've all left yesterday, left that other timeline. We don't want to go be a part of that one. We're all on this abundance timeline. We're all in a new future. We're here.
Yes, conscious awareness reality is always forward movement. So yeah, thank you so much, Ben, Scott. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you everyone listening in live. Thank you for all you've done, all the reports, all the time that you put into, all the work that has been happening. I know just by talking like this, that we already difficult to come out because of workfulness. Being our groups of, the way we convert. These are all things that took about 2 months that now we're doing it, we're talking, and it's almost like knocking up. Before it used to be taboo. Red pill, we call it the first few shows when we talk about things like this. But then the reality, we choose, we create, we can talk and learn, and then we create a new one, however, we want to choose to. And I'm thankful to be here representing the people here in Fiji, letting everyone know around the planet that we are here already awake, we are ready, already walking. Everyone is taking up taking their yoke and doing their due diligence to try and learn and undo the slave system that has been implemented all over the planet. And we, as the tribe, we have, the last time we talked, now we're almost reaching 800 people getting the notification. We will try and get as much awake as we can, and let them do the due diligence by not just listening, understanding, and taking it in, but also doing the work and doing that work of love, and work together with ultimately with the trust, be able to complete that the work and actually try and implement. So we're looking forward to you then. We should be able to implement your
yes.
You understand somehow.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, Tui. I'm looking forward to being there very soon. All right, everyone. This is a good place.
Thank you, Tui. Dan, yes.
Yeah, thanks, Scott, and thank iPhone for joining us here. And we'll be back tomorrow. And we'll get more news, or the new year will all be in the same new abundant new year. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, Dan. Goodbye, Scott.
Bye, everybody. Bye.